through any pitch deck so far? Like I sent you the list of pitch decks. Any one of you have browsed through that?
I went through a few.
Okay, awesome.
I briefly looked at it as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to really do is kind of look through that together with you all, right? So that's what I wanted to do. We can pick, one or two pitch decks, and we'll go through that, right? But the point I wanted to make is, see, whatever that you have learned so far, at least at a high level, the pitch deck is all about rubber meets the road. Okay, so what does it mean is the business plan is also rubber meets the road, right? The business plan is a very detailed document with lots of facts, figures, analysis, number of things that you do to create your business plan across all the different departments, what kind of a job that you wanted to get it done, who has to do when. So it's kind of a more detailed document, right? And business plan can have inside marketing plan, sales plan, you can have a product development plan, number of different plans you can have inside the business case, in addition to the, financial numbers and pure business related content. Now, that's also a rubber meets the road, meaning, whatever that you do, right? You actually pen down and make sure you record it, and so you are aware of that. The pitch deck is also the same thing, but the difference between these two is that the pitch deck is like, it has to be short and sweet to attract, it's like a first level impression, right? Towards the investor to kind of like you and your solutions, right? When I said like you and your solution, I really mean it, because most of the time investors not only invest on the product, right? They also invest on the owner of the product, right? The entrepreneur, how committed he is, how energetic he is, how well he is able to articulate, how well has he researched it. So it's both, right? You as a person is going to be looked at, and also the content is going to be looked at, and collectively the impression that you make is going to really help you to get the right people to support you, whether it is an investor, whether it is the co-founder, whether it's a developer who wants to come and join you to build this vision of whatever that you have, whether it is a marketer, whether it is a designer, doesn't really matter, right? So it's basically something that is going to get you going. And among many things, the most important thing is someone that is able to provide you the money to achieve your vision, whatever that you wanted to achieve. So that is why the pitch deck is so very important. In most of the time, what happens is they call it as a pitch day, right? I wanted you guys to search, right? You can go to, now I'll introduce something called as hackathon, right? So let's go and see if we can do something here. So there's number of places. Sorry, there's number of places that they do something called as a pitch day. So you can see this, right? For example, Founder Space Pitch Day, right? So you can actually search something called as a pitch day. So depending upon the different people, some people will organize pitch day for getting the investors and entrepreneurs to come together to listen to the pitches. And even Brampton organizes the pitch day. And there are organizations within the organization, within Brampton organizes the pitch day. So my goal is to really help you understand that, how to create a pitch so you can go and participate in these kind of activities. So what you do is the pitch day is normally like you go and you pitch your deck and you show some demos, right? That's what it is, the pitch day. And when you go to the pitch day, you are fully prepared as an entrepreneur. And you have a demo, everything available behind, you have worked on those and you have everything available. and you go to this pitch day and you pitch your a product and also show the demo so the people, and then you can ask, right, depending upon whoever is the audience. If there are audience who are looking to invest, there may be an audience who is looking to join a startup, there may be audience, so you can actually ask them, hey, I'm looking for X amount of investment, right? Because it's already going to be in the pitch deck. And even in the pitch deck, you can say, I'm looking for the super duper front and back end developers who help me to realize this. And whoever, depending upon the audience, obviously, right? So whoever is available, if they are interested in your idea, they will come and join you. And then you can have a discussion with them. Okay, this is the percentage of share that I'll give if everything works on. And then you form a team, a next level team, and then you move forward, right? So right now you have formed your first level team, and then next level team, and you keep on forming new teams, and then you basically continue your journey, right? As long as you're continuing to run with this entrepreneurship journey. That is how it happens. So first thing is, I want to introduce you a pitch day, right? You have to go and look for pitch days, and you have to go and present your pitches in those. So that will give you confidence, right? A lot of people will say, okay, I have already heard like these pictures, and a lot of people tried in this area and failed. Why don't you go back and refine your pitch? A lot of inputs that you'll get. So many pitch days are available. Now, the next one I wanted you to kind of understand is hackathon. Okay. So now what is hackathon, right? So there is a platform called Hackathon where all the hackathons are available there for you to go and look at. But nevertheless, I just want to search you, and so there's a lot of people organize hackathons. So hackathons is a little bit different. By the name, you see, thon means long, right? Hack means you're trying to solve some problem, right? That's hack. Literal meaning is different, but in context to the hackathon, you're trying to identify a challenge and solve the problem. And thon is long. Long means the event can happen. Some events can happen for 12 hours. Some events can happen for 24 hours. Some event can happen for like 5 days. Some hackathons can happen for 5 days. So the difference between the pitch day and the hackathon is like more or less like prepare you to become an entrepreneur. Think of something like that, right? The hackathon is like you can start from level 0 in the hackathon, right? In pitch days, you have to be completely prepared. You have a pitch available, and you're going to go and present along with the demo, right? It just that's what happens in the pitch day. But the hackathon is that you do everything what we did in Testoper projects as a practice, right? You use all the skills that you have developed in Testoper project. In this,
I couldn't hear what you said.
Just a minute, sorry. So you basically implement all the things that you have learned and practically in hackathon, right? You're implementing that practically even in this session. But for me, I'm requesting you to practically implement it because I wanted you to learn. But in hackathon, you will be forced to do it. Like, for example, if you go to a hackathon, right? There may be a lot of hackathons like $40, $50, $80, entry fee will be there. You can go, like there's 1 day hackathon will be there, 2 day hackathon will be there. You want to go alone, you can go alone, or you want to go with your team, you can go with your team. Doesn't really matter. If you are not an entrepreneur, also you can go. If you're a developer, you can go. A designer, you can go. Tester, you can go. Marketing person, you can go. Business person, you can go. So you can go to this hackathon. What happens typically in the hackathon is once you are inside the hackathon, the first thing that happens is, different hackathons is organized in different way. And I'm trying to explain you, some of the hackathons that I've attended the normal process, what it happens there. So you go there in the evening and you meet people, you network people, and then what you start to do is once the program, once the official event started, they will ask you, whoever wants to pitch, come on the floor and dais and pitch in front of everyone, right? An idea, not the pitch deck, an idea. So what happens is, you go to the podium and then you'll say, blah, blah, blah. I see this is the problem in this problem that I have discovered, and I wanted to find a solution. And then you can say, I am a software developer or I'm a business person. I want to form a team, and I'm looking for a team to form, and I need 2 developers, 1 tester, 1 marketing person, and I'm planning to form 6-member teams. You basically say that. And then likewise, whoever is there in the crowd, they are all normally given 1 minute or maximum 2 minutes to come and say the problem and challenge and what you're trying to solve. And maybe you can give a name so that the people can remember some name, like flashy name, right? The project name. And you can say, this is what I need. Then you go out, and then second person comes, third person comes, like 20, 30 people, they will come and pitch. And everyone in the floor, they listen to you, and they will choose which some people might like for example, if I am sitting as an audience, and let's say Greg is come and presented, pitched for a minute and gone. For some reason, let's say I'm a business person and I liked Greg's idea. Okay, so what I do is the audience, as an audience, whoever sits, right, they make a note of, okay, Greg, and he pitched this, I like this one. The second one, okay, I did not like, so I may not make a note, right? And third person, fourth person, okay, fifth person, I liked it, okay, I make a note of it, his name and his project. So I basically sit in Notepad and I make a note of all these things. So after this pitch, normally it happens on the first day, right? After everyone comes and does their pitch, or says their idea, right? Pitches their idea, right? The pitch day is all about pitching their product and demo. So within the hackathon, the first session is the pitch, is nothing but a pitching the idea. So after, probably because 20, 30 people, everybody does 2 minutes, probably it will take an hour or sometimes 1.5 hours. Then what they will do is, they will ask all the people whoever have come and pitched the idea. They ask you to go and stand in multiple corners, and they will give you some kind of the whiteboard or some kind of a paper where you can write it down with marker, your idea name, whatever the name you have given, and you can say, I need this. You can write it down, and they will make you stand in that big place, right? So 20, 30 people, they will stand there, all the people who have pitched the idea. Then the remaining people, what they do is they go to the ideas that they liked while Greg was pitching, for example. So I go to Greg and I start talking with the Greg. Hey, Greg, okay, I'm interested to work with you on this particular capacity as a developer or a business person. Would you be interested to take me into your team? Then Greg can ask me some questions and make sure that he's the right person for him. And then he says, yes, please. So I stand next to Greg. Like that, every member will go around and they start forming the teams, right? This is the time, the team formation. This is what they call the second step, which is a team formation. The first one is the pitching the idea, and the second one is the team formation. So now it can so happen that out of 20, 30 people who pitch the idea, there may be 10 people who might not have got any people at all coming and showing the interest. So they will be given an option to go and join the other member team to form the team, part of the team. So then they also go and hunt if there is any position is available. And if it is available, they go and talk. But end of the day, when this exercise is complete, what happens is, you would probably end up, there may be 30, 40 people who would have pitched. And normally the hackathons that I have seen or organized or I have judged, normally what happens is a maximum of 10 to 12 teams are formed. And each team normally has minimum 3 to maximum 10, right? It depends. But some hackathons, they will say, okay, you have to have a minimum team of 4. Otherwise, this team will be qualified. So what happens is, if Greg team has only 4 members, 3 members, and all other team has 8 members, 9 members, and Greg disqualifies. So what he can do is, he has to drop his idea. He has to accept someone else's idea, and his team can go and join that team, or individual members can go and join in different teams. So that's the second step. So once the first step, after completing the pitching the idea, the second step is the team formation. Once the team formation is formed, then what happens is, they will ask you guys to go and start building your idea to the reality. So it starts after that, you're on your own. They provide the space, they provide the food, and even they provide the place to sleep. In some places, if they don't have a sleeping thing, they'll say, okay, you guys can, even go to the Starbucks and sit there, or you go home and then come back in the early morning, whatever. They'll let you. Let's say this Friday evening it starts, right? And then once the team formation is done, then they will let you go, right? You're on your own for Friday evening, and Saturday the whole day, and the Sunday the whole day, and the Sunday evening after 48 hours, assuming the hackathon is for 48 hours, you will actually come and pitch in front of the people. This is equivalent to the pitch day, right? The last portion is equivalent to the pitch day. So you come and pitch in front of the people, judges, and they select and they give you the prize. The winners, sometimes some of the hackathon winners have got $1,000. Some of the hackathon winners even have got $100,000 to kickstart their company, right? So a lot of big companies have started their journeys from hackathon, many of them, right? And some of them even have become a unicorn, right? So this is what the pitch day is all about. This is what this hackathon is all about. In hackathon, what happens is, in that day, right, after the team formation, there may be a lot of workshops they will do. Because see, all the people, some people are newcomers, right? Some people may not know how to even write a pitch deck. So they might organize some session during the hackathon to train you how to create a pitch deck. If you already know it, probably you don't have to go to that workshop. Maybe there is another workshop during the hackathon where they would teach you guys a Python program, or maybe a front-end React.js program, right, for 1 hour session. So people who don't know maybe can go there and learn, and then look at the book and the online code to build some prototype, right? So like this, there'll be a lot of sessions in between. Depending upon your interest, you can go and attend them. And also what will happen in this 2 days when you're building is, they will also assign some mentors, sometimes dedicated mentors for the team, or sometimes floating mentors. So the mentors go around and try to ask you questions and understand where you are and try to help you, give you an idea. Typically what I'm doing in this session, like that, they will provide you the ideas and make you to think differently and all those kind of things. And in this like 48 hours, sleepless nights, some people don't even sleep 2 nights, right? They drink coffees. They don't even sleep 2 nights. And it's like a fun, right? Fun with lots of hard work. It's not easy thing, right? And then by end of that Saturday evening pitch deck, what happens is you probably would have created your business ideas, validated. During this process, they will ask you, go and validate. They'll ask you to go in the road and tell the people, and then validate if this idea, get the testimonial. So, I mean, innovation is the limit, right? Your thinking is the limit to what are all the things that you can do in that 48 hours. So you can go validate the idea, create a pitch deck, and create a product demo and show the MVP. So all those things you can prepare, and then you go towards the last day, that is Sunday evening in the pitch day. You go and pitch in front of the people. And they judge you by various factors, right? So I've judged lots of hackathons, and they give you the criteria to judge, right? They'll say, okay, how well the team has come together as one criteria, the chemistry of the team, and then the second one, they'll say, okay, have they been able to articulate it well, and is there a problem? Is there a real problem that they are trying to solve? And then another criteria will be, okay, have they really done a proper market research around this, or attempted to do the market research around this? Are they able to articulate it well based on all the things that you guys have already learned from me, right? Market research, customer segment, all those things. Then they'll give us a criteria, okay, have they developed the demo? Is it a working demo, or is it just a slideware? The different marks like that. There's a lot of criterias are given to the judge, and based on that criterias, we have to judge and we'll have to rate. And then finally, after all the pitches complete, they take a break 1 hour where people are going and having snacks, drinks, dinner, or whatever that is provided. Then the judges come back and announce the winners. They come together, they score together, they debate together, and they announce the winners, 1, 2, 3, and then you get the prize. That is what the hackathon is all about. So the hackathon allows you to experience whatever that you have learned in the Testoper project in 2 days. To kind of bring all these things together from the teams. And when like I said, some of the companies are really born from the hackathons, and they get this prize and then they go back. They go back and they start a company and they put that money into the bank, and then they continue their dream to build a product and make a company out of it. And some people, what they do is they after that, they can go to the incubators. Okay, so the next word that I'm trying to introduce here is incubators. Okay, so what are all the words that I've so far told you guys? Open this presentation, hold on. It's not coming. Anyways, so the next word, the pitch day, is the first word that I've introduced you. Hackathon is the next word that I have introduced you. And the third word that I wanted to tell you is incubator. So the incubators, I'll put it like this: incubators, and the fourth word I wanted to introduce is accelerators. So let's take this one. I wanted to create this as a slide next time, but I just wanted to make sure that you guys are with me. Copy image. That. Oh, it's okay. So just to make sure that I guess, so incubator and accelerators. So what is the difference between the incubator and the accelerators is something that we need to really understand, right? So, but I will explain you guys the details of that in the next session. But the point is, after this is a journey, right? You have a hackathons, then you build a product and you go to the pitch day. I mean, the hackathon is one place, the another one is the pitch day, and then there is a place called incubators and accelerators. These are all the companies, whether it is a profit or non-profit companies, that helps the founders in different ways. So what you can typically do is, what I wanted to really share here for today, I'll give you the details in coming sessions. But what I wanted to say is your journey continues, right? After that, you can go to the incubator and you can join incubator and you can learn in that program, right? If some, even to get into the incubator, there is a certain qualification criteria. You have to apply for it. You have to pitch your idea. And if they like it, they will say, okay, come and join me in the incubator. And then you have to commit yourself with them certain hours to build this product, learn from them and evolve this product and make this successful, right? So that's incubator. Then the next one is an accelerator. So in accelerator is also by the name says, right? Incubator is like a fresh founders. Accelerators is like accelerating the founder's idea to the next level, right? So you can actually see by name itself, accelerator comes after incubators, literal meaning. So these are all some of the organizations that are out there, the number of organizations that are out there. I will give you some examples even in Canada when I really present it, the details of that. You go and join. So in incubator, you join a year or two and then learn from it, and maybe, learn whatever that you learned in Testoper projects, whatever you learned in hackathon, and you will again learn there, and maybe you refine yourself with ideas. Maybe you come up with some new ideas with your team and talk to investors. They'll give you access to talk to multiple advisors, mentors, industry experts. You make use of the platform, you refine, and you bring to a stage where you are able to get some investors to like your product and they invest on you, and then you kickstart. So that is incubator and accelerators, right? So I will stop with these 4 definitions for today from the definition point of view before going to the pitch deck. So what is important, why did I explain all these things is pretty much the entrepreneurship journey is not an easy journey. I mean, the rewards are many, right? Rewards are big, but at the same time, risks are also big. There's a lot of people who have invested their life, energy, money, time, family time, and everything into taking their journey from nothing to become an entrepreneur, to enjoy the benefits of entrepreneurship, being a founder someday. And you know that, right? There's so many companies, founders. I mean, today you see that they are driving. I don't know, right? They have their own private jet flight or whatever, right? And they are so rich and they have securities. I mean, you see only that, but the sweat that and the hard work and the struggle that they went through to really get to that stage is something that you have not seen it. But the reality is they have gone through that difficult times in their life, struggled days and night, even without food, taking care of family. I mean, so many things they have struggled. That is why they are successful today. Nobody becomes successful just like that. I mean, we learning and doing a job, getting a monthly salary, it has its own challenges. Right? Everything what we do has its own challenges. I'm not saying it's an easy thing to do, right? It also has its own challenges. But compared to becoming an entrepreneur, a founder, I mean, the challenges that they face, compared to that, the normal challenges that we face in day-to-day life, right? Taking care of our personal activities and taking care of our professional work-related activities are nothing compared to the struggle that they go through. Entrepreneurs who wants to become an entrepreneurs and the founders go through. This is the fact of the and this is the fact and this is the reality and name of the game. Right? So this is something that I wanted to really stress upon. And like I said, risks are many and rewards are many. And the rewards, you are seeing example, all these big CEOs and founders, how they live their life and enjoy their life, how they continue to contribute to the society and things like that. So they are enjoying that status quo today is mainly because of all the sweat that they have, all the sweat and all the hard work that they have put in to really get there. Okay, very good. So if you look at this is what we are trying to learn: entrepreneurship from idea to IPO. I mean, we kind of introduced that, our 3rd chapter, and then we talked about vision, mission, values, massive transformative purpose, and strategy. These are all some of the terms that we did not learn in the previous ones, right? And then the most important thing that I was talking about was the pitch deck. And we'll have to review a couple of pitch decks, and we'll have to go through how different people are building the pitch deck and why they are building it like that. That is the exercise that I really wanted to do next week. But today I wanted to introduce what is a pitch deck. And if time permits, maybe we'll take one small example and go through that. But I wanted to really go through 2 or 3 pitch decks with you guys to practically see and see through how the person who created that pitch deck, why he created it, and why he's been successful today, right? I want to really go through that journey with you all. So before I go to the details about the pitch deck, just a summary of what we discussed. 5 key points is what the message I wanted to give you. Number 1, 5 key words and the message I want to give you. Number 1 is, what is a pitch day? We talked about it. Number 2 is, at least from the definition point of view, what is hackathon and what happens exactly in the hackathon? We talked about it. And then the 3rd one is, we learned after this, the founder's journey can continue through incubators and accelerators. And when they go through this incubator and accelerators in this whole journey, if they are lucky. There's so many people who are not lucky as well, right? If you are lucky, for instance, you might get an investor. So when you get an investor, you start building the teams, and the actual problem starts then, right? Start building the team, making sure you do justice to the money that you receive from the investor, because he's going to be behind you. He's investing on you and your idea. Even though he will give you the freedom, but he wants to see the results. Just think about it. What is an investor? By definition, investor is a person who wants to invest the money and wants to see the returns of his investment. He's not a donor, right? He's an investor. So you go through the journey of incubator, you go through the journey of an accelerator, and then you become lucky and you get an investor, and then you start building the team, and you start creating the products, and then you start going and selling the products, start making the money. Then you need to grow further. You need more money. You go and ask more money to more investors. You get more money. You turn your team from 5 members to 50 members. And you build more features into your product, you go and sell, you get more customers, you get more money. Again, you need more money, you go back to again an investor, raise in millions. Then after sometimes you raise in billions. And the journey continues. And at some point of time, what may happen is that you might decide to exit, right? Because see, everybody wants to see the return on investment. Some traditional investors, some traditional founders, they wanted to start the company, and they feel very close to their heart, and they wanted to continue with it as long as they live, right? Or as long as the product survives in the market. But some entrepreneurs, sometimes they call it as a serial entrepreneurs. Such kind of founders, what they do is they start the company, make it big, and they know that after some time, 50 or 100 resources, maybe after a couple of million or $10 million, they don't have a skill to scale it, because it requires different skill to scale the company. A founder might be very good at starting a company, creating a problem, identifying a solution, and able to get the market traction, maybe able to get the initial investors, build an initial team, build the product that can be sold, and continue the revenue. And okay. But at some point of time, he reaches that plateau. It's a different ball game altogether. Taking a company from 0 people to 10 people, and 10 people to 50 people, compared to 50 people to 100 people, 100 people to 1,000 people, 1,000 people to 10,000 people. And likewise, when you think about from the money point of view, generating 100,000s to single digit millions, to double digit millions, to triple digit millions, to billions, trillions. I mean, one person can't do, right? I mean, it's impossible. So everybody has certain limitations and plateaus. So what happens is, most of the investors, what they do, most of the founders, what they do is, I'm very good at coming with an idea, solving the problem, forming a team, and then growing the company up to $5 million. And after that, I need to really give it to someone else who has a capability, talent, expertise to take the $5 million company to $50 million company. And after that, maybe I need to give it to someone else who can take that $50 million to $500 million. Because that's the reality, right? The skill sets and different ways of doing at different stages comes into the picture, and that's where different people have different experience to take the company from one stage to another stage. So why did I explain this? Because most of the founders, they also plan the exit strategy. After 5 years, I will exit. Okay. When I exit, I made this company up to $5 million. I exited for $15 million. I own 30% of the share. So I take that 30% of the money, and I give all other shareholders rest of the money. And then I go back to the drawing board and come up with a new problem, identify the new problem, find a new solution, and start the journey again. Reinvest the money, start the journey again. And they continue doing this. These guys are all serial entrepreneurs. Sometimes they are referred as. Okay. So this is the journey of an entrepreneurship, and not easy. A lot of sweat, a lot of hard work. Now it's that I have set the stage about these words and everything. Let's get into the pitch deck. Why pitch deck? I mean, this is your make or break. Single piece of document as a founder, right? So that's why the importance of pitch deck and prepare mastering in the pitch deck is very important. They say, right, you might know a lot of things. You might have learned a lot of things, but if you cannot use whatever that you have learned to create a desired outcome, then whatever you have learned is of no use. So pitch deck is like that. Whatever the research that you have done, whatever the market segments you have found, whatever the hard work that you have put, if you are not able to articulate it into the single piece of document, then all the hard work that you have done is of no use. Of course, from the learning point of view, you have learned it and you've become wiser and all those kind of things. But from the point of view of really, kickstarting your journey as an entrepreneur and getting an investors and developing your company, from that point of view, if you are not able to articulate all the hard work that you have done in the form of pitch deck, then the chances are, you may not be successful. So that is why pitch deck is very important. Now, what is a pitch deck? Pitch deck is nothing but a snippet of, in other words, the overview of what you wanted to really achieve. Overview of the journey that you wanted to go through together with whoever joins you so that you all can be successful. That is what the pitch deck is all about. Now, the content of the pitch deck is the same thing that you have learned, right? It's a business plan. It's the value proposition. The content of the pitch deck is all the things that you have learned in the past. But the key thing that you need to understand is it is a document that's going to really help you, rubber meets the road, to articulate what you wanted to do, to articulate your journey, the successful journey, and making others see that journey and wanting to be part of that journey, to enjoy the success, support during the failures, and continue the journey. That is what it is all about. That is what the pitch deck is all about. Now, typically, what do you have in the pitch deck is, these are the terms that you have already learned, nothing new. Vision and value proposition. What is your vision? What journey am I going to take? What is my destiny? How am I going to get there? Why I chose that destiny? What problem am I solving? Very important, right? Problem. What problem am I solving? Why did I choose that destiny? To solve what problem? And for whom? Target market and opportunity. If I solve that, who is going to get benefit? Are they going to value the solution to the problem that they are going through? Today, think about it, COVID-19 vaccine. We appreciate vaccine, right? If someone manufactures a medicine that we can eat and we can get rid of this pandemic, I mean, we'll appreciate that, right? So that's the thing. What problem you are trying to solve? Why you are trying to solve? Which market you are trying to address? What opportunity it's going to create for the people to benefit from the solution that you are going to bring to the problem that they are facing. If they really like your solution, obviously they're going to pay, because the economy works like that, right? Nothing is free in this world. We are doing this Testoper community, and we are non-profit. We are do all these things for free, but it is still not free. I spent 1 hour with you today. You all spent 1 hour with me today. I mean, that 1 hour is not free, right? It's your time. Time is money. Yes, in return you learn something. So there is an exchange, right? That's what it is all about. So any solution that you find, right, there is always going to be a value to it, whether tangible, non-tangible, doesn't matter. But when it comes to a profit company and you wanted to build, it has to be tangible. Even in the non-profit company, it has to be tangible to cover some of the costs, but may not be the focus to really make lots of money so that everybody can earn lots of salary. You can't do that in non-profit and charity, because if you start taking more salary, government will come behind you. There's a level CEO, okay, you can take only X amount of salary, right? You can't take anything more than that. But if you go to a profit company, you can take anything you want in your life, right? So that's what it is. It has its value, right? So you got to articulate that value to the audience, to the stakeholders. If I solve this problem, this is how people are going to appreciate it. This is how they are going to, this is how they are, this is much they are going to pay for it. And I have so many, my market size is so big. My SAM is so big. We learned about it in the past, in the previous slides. What is total addressable market, serving addressable market? Which market segment that I'm going to, address? And then once that is clearly articulated, it's all good. Okay, you found a solution, and you know whom to go and sell, who will purchase. All those things are good. But how do you make them know that you have this product so that they can come and purchase from you? Marketing and sales strategy. And finally, team is very, very important, right? The investors are going to really look at the team members. What is your background? Are you really giving your whole heart into this? Have given your whole heart into this, and are giving now and will be giving? Do you have the right people surrounding you? That's what I was telling when I was, taking time to train you guys. Team forming is very, very important. You might have a good idea. You might make a lot of money from that idea as an individual, but investors are not going to give you the money if you are going to do it solo. It's called as lone wolf, in the literal meaning, right? A people who are lone wolf wants to do everything by themselves. No investor is going to invest on that lone wolf attribute a person has. Team is very, very important. You look at any company, you will see about us. Go to about us, and you see they will have founders, presidents, VPs, board of directors. What is that? Why do they put that in the website about us with all these people's name there? Is it really required? Team is very important. At some point of time, when you grow, right? If someone is giving a business to one company is giving a business to another company, team will also play a very important. Who is there in the other end? Has he delivered this project in the past? These kind of big scale projects in the past? Or has he failed? What is the background? Okay, he's failed in the past. I'm not going to give to this company, even though this company is big. The team that is going to work with me probably, is not a good team. So I may not sign a deal with this company. No, they have done similar projects. Well, let's go ahead and sign the deal. Team is very, very important. And finally, financials. We have talked about it in longer length, right, in the previous sessions. You should be able to tell in the journey how much money that I need today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, year, 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, how much money that I need, how much I'm going to spend, how much money is going to come in from customer. When I am going to reach a break-even point where I don't need any more money from investor, I'm able to pay all my employees from the earnings from the customer. When I'm going to start turning that into profitability, how is this curve going to grow? At some point of time, you cannot grow further. You need second level investment. Again, your curve will go down, right? You run the company through investment, and customer money also will contribute to an extent. Again, you will get into a breaking point. Again, you will start making profitable. After some time, again, you need investment. If you want to grow that to a 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 employees, 10 million, 100 million, billion-dollar company. So this cycle keeps on going, right? And that's why you first start with small investment, bank investment, then you start with angels, then you start with others, and you start with others, and you start with others. And it's a continuous journey. And most importantly, who are your competitors? You have to really be able to articulate it. They will say if you don't know your competition, I mean, whatever that you presented, the whole thing is meaningless to them, right? Because the competition is a good benchmark. Why it is a good benchmark? If a competition is making $500 million a year on solving a particular problem in a particular market segment, and you're also trying to solve a problem in the same market segment, that means I'm talking about market segment, right? It may not be the same problem, right? It may be similar problem, or it may be a different problem, but related in the same market segment. So if you have that competitors, then the investors say, okay, this competitor is making $500 million. Well, this company, if I invest, even if they take away some money from that $500 million from this existing guys, they will at least make $5-10 million. Okay, let me invest, right? So there's multiple ways to look at things. Competition is very, very important. When you're describing the financial, you also have to clearly explain how are you going to use the funds that are going to be invested to you. Like, for example, if you get a fund from an investor, you have to give him upfront, this is how you're going to spend. And the investors will be tracking against that to make sure that you're keeping to your commitment and you're delivering to your commitment. And finally, you can present the exit strategy. A lot of investors who are like want to make a ROI faster, they love to hear the exit strategy. When you wanted to exit and what time you want to exit, what kind of money you will have when you wanted to exit, and they will earn when they wanted to exit. And there are other areas like partnerships where one same size does not fit all, right? They say, and also you can do it all, they say, right? So if you are able to articulate that these are all some of the pieces I can do, these are some of the pieces I cannot do, I have already partners who's going to provide me that so that I can have an end-to-end solution or a product that I can use to solve the problem. The partnerships will also add a lot of good impression when you're presenting it. Obviously, working demo. And in fact, they would like it if you already have some customer traction and you already have like a few customers using your product. They would like to see that. That will also add some points. And whatever other documents that you feel like presenting it, right? But optionals are optionals. In some cases, depending upon the audience. So they say, right, when you're talking to kids, you got to modulate yourself and tell the story that the way that they can understand, right? When they are talking to adults, you have to modulate and tell the story the way that they can understand. So there's always a modulation depending upon the audience that you're going to see. And it's also good that you do some research. When you go to the pitch day, who are all the investors have come or coming to listen to that pitch, and what kind of companies they have invested today and in the past investments. And if you do some research before you go and do your pitch, that will give you a good idea as to little bit modulate here and there and focus on 2 or 3 investors that you wanted to really focus on to get them or have them perceive your intentions and aligns to their goals and come and talk to you for the investment, right? So there's a lot of things behind the scene, homework that you may have to do. It's not only just about creating the pitch deck, it's also about how you are going to articulate it and putting the right content depending upon the audience that you wanted to really get attention from. That's the most important thing. So the last tip that I wanted to say before closing the call today is, see, it's not about pitch. The word is pitch, right? baseball, that you do pitch. It's like a trailer. If they want the details, they can always come back to you. You need to cover enough, but it's not, your goal is not to say everything. Your primary goal is to really help to tell a story. Storytelling is very, very important. Ensure that you build the excitement so that they are interested to come and talk to you after the pitch to understand more details and then evaluate if they wanted to really invest with you or not. So this is what the pitch deck is all about. Because you have learned a lot of things from me since the starting, all these terms that I used now may be repeatable for you, but it's very important that whatever that you have learned from me, you bring those learnings into the presentation. Create a pitch deck, rubber meets the road. Do it in such a nice way to present this. Maybe you will get 5 minutes, 10 minutes in front of an investor. You're not going to get more than that. What can you do within that 5 minutes to build the excitement and have them to come to you, wanting them to come to you to learn more and work with you? And if you are able to do that, you have achieved your target. So that is what the pitch deck is all about, guys. So it's that now you understand this whole picture, starting from, just to summarize, starting from what is pitch day, starting from what is hackathon, and this hackathon and during the pitch day is where you go and pitch the stuff, right? And then even during the incubators and accelerators, you work, and whatever that you learned in Testoper community, you work in greater details. The goal of all these, whether a pitch day, hackathon, incubator, the goal of all accelerator, the goal of all these is to learn to the greater detail whatever that you have learned in the Testoper projects, this program, to create a pitch deck, go to the investors and get the money. Form the right team. Kickstart your entrepreneurship journey. And pitch deck is the cerebrum of all learnings, putting together, rubber meets the road. It's that important, guys, right? So good. So I will stop here today. What I really wanted you all to do is, please go to this presentation and click here. And you know what? Let's do this 1 second. Let's choose something, right? And I wanted you, let's choose Dropbox. Okay, number one. Let's. Okay, let's pick Dropbox. I'm going to write it down here. Can someone also write it down, please? In the chat. See, Dropbox is a pitch deck that was used to raise $1.2 million seed round. Okay, so let's take this one, right? And then they say they founded this some 11 years later at the valuation of 2. Dropbox pitch decks, 17 slides in total. People often refer founders. Okay, so anyways, so let's look at this Dropbox. Then I wanted to also look at Buffer Series A. Okay, Dropbox, please, Mickey, write it down. Dropbox for seed. I will explain what is seed. And then Buffer is for Series A. And Mix panel. for Series B. And also Smart Host. Let's take these 4 examples. And what I wanted you all to do is please go through this from now to next week, Friday. And let's review this together in our next session. And I will explain the comments here, right? I will explain what does this mean in our next session. It's that we have already reached our time for the day. All right. Did you guys learn something today? Are you guys okay? Are you following me?
Yes, got it. And
That's
I put
good.
it on the chat.
Right. Perfect.
Yeah.
Sounds really good. Okay. I think probably another 2 or 3 sessions we will close most of the things, right? And we are good to go. And I'll give you guys some time to put together the pitch deck, and we'll have the final pitch day. This is really good. Thanks, guys, and you have a wonderful evening. I'll see you all tomorrow in our